Meh, meh. Hello and welcome. Alright, cool. I see myself live, so I guess we are ready to go. Hello and welcome to Court of the Rings here on twitch.tv/LOTRO youtube.com/Lord of the Rings/live, and facebook.com/LOTRO. I am LOTRO's community manager, Cordovan, and I appreciate y'all being here. And a little bit later on in the show, I'm going to be probably just doing a little bit of leveling up. I'll be doing the festival probably during a special event that begins tomorrow that I will have a little bit of information on in just a second. But I want to just welcome everyone to the show, let you know I would be happy to answer your questions. I have a feeling that I'm going to be bombarded with questions about a certain thing, which is fine. So let me call up my information so I've got the right information to give you. I would just ask if you guys, I know we have a bit of a controversial thing in the community right now, so I just would ask if you do want to ask me questions, that's fine. Just don't be abusive. I know some folks are pretty angry, but cut me a little slack. Just a little slack. Alright. The month of Halloween, a day before Friday the 13th. Yes, I'm a big horror movie fan, so I'm actually quite looking forward to this. Although, I have to admit, I'm going to be busy on Friday the 13th doing a pretty amazing thing. We have got an Extra Life Marathon that we're going to be doing throughout the evening on Friday and the entirety of the day on Saturday, right here on twitch.tv/LOTROstream. We're raising money for our Extra Life charity event. We have a goal of about $5,000. Odds are fairly good that we shall hit it. Let me bring this up. LOTROstream Extra Life Marathon actually starts, this is changing as of last night, we are actually going to start at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time tomorrow, October 13th. Forte Maestro is going to be doing his regular show at 6 and wants to get in on the Extra Life thing as well, so that'll be an Extra Life charity event. So it begins at 6 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, runs all the way clear through the day on Saturday, through the night, running until midnight on Saturday, October 14th, right here on twitch.tv/LOTROstream. If you would like to donate, you can find all of the LOTROstream members at extralife.org/team/LOTROstream. Again, extra-life.org/team/LOTROstream. Any donation, large or small, is very much welcome. We really do appreciate that. And let me... I've got in-service news this year. Call up one other page for you here so I can talk a little bit about the incentives. We do actually have some incentives for people who want to donate this year. Similar to last year, this is my second year fundraising for Extra Life. Our goal is to raise $5,000 on Team LOTROstream. My personal goal is $3,000. As of today, we're, I think, just a little over 1,000, so that's a fantastic start. If you donate at least $5, you'll be entered into the various drawings unlocked when we reach certain milestones. We're giving away 500 LOTRO point codes. Well, not 500 of them, but they are worth 500 LOTRO points. Hero of the Small Folk titles, Ghost Bears, and addition, I do, as of today, have some Perlino steeds as well, so I'll be able to give some of those away. If you don't want a Ghost Bear, you don't want a title, and you'd rather get a Perlino steed, let me know. We'll also be doing some of those giveaways during the event itself. If you donate $5, I'll be happy to give you a forum title of your choice. If you donate 10, you can get a custom forum avatar. I'll make an avatar for you. $20 is a Hero of the Small Folk title, and 30 will be up to 3 Ghost Bear Pet certificates. Here's the one trick, and this is very important. I don't get much information when you donate on Extra Life. I just get a thing saying, yo, this person donated X. So if you want to get any of these incentives, you need to let me know more about who you are. You can private message that to me on the forums is the best place to go. That way I can keep it all in one place. But if you really can't use the forums for whatever reason, you can direct message LOTRO on Twitter. And if you really can't do either of those, you can get in touch with LOTRO on Facebook. But the forums would be the best place. That way I can keep it all in one place. I need your forum name or your Twitter handle or whatever you're going for there. The name you used for your donation. Reason for that is I'll just get a thing saying like, Alex donated $5, and we maybe have more than one Alex. So I need to know, like, okay, so what did you actually use on the donation? Let me know how much you donated, and if you know it, the date of the donation. Again, that just helps me out during those Alex things where we have more than one person with the same name donating. And that's all it takes to get in on all this stuff. But please, we'd love to see you right here on twitch.tv/LOTROstream starting Friday evening, running all the way through until midnight on Saturday. Community managers are not piñatas. They are not full of candy. At which point someone in chat says, surely Cordovan is filled with candy. You're not entirely wrong. I have been known. You know. I have been known. Scariest movie. That's a tough one. My personal favorite horror film is probably Mario Bava's Kill Baby Kill, although it's a toss-up between that and Black Sabbath. I also really, really like Dario Argento's Suspiria. Okay. Scariest movie, the Sarah Oakart story. Nice. Yep. Alright, so I've got Twitch chat taken care of here. Let me check out YouTube. I'd like to ask your statement on the Dungeons of Nairband. Thrancool hits way too hard, and it is impossible to finish the instance right now. I actually, because of the other thing that's been going on, I have not really had time to chase that down. My original understanding was that this particular enemy was meant to be difficult, but it sounds to me like we went too far on that. So if he really does make it impossible to finish the instance, then that's clearly something we're going to need to deal with. Although I guess I would say we do have people finishing the instance. So I'm not entirely sure what to say about that. Alright, give me a quick sec. Unfortunately, I downloaded the wrong version of the game client internally for my live admin. So let me take care of that real quick. Surely I can talk for another 5 minutes while this copy's over. You bet. I'm glad you have thick skin. It seems some players have forgotten simple human manners. Oh, it's alright. You know, one of the things, I've been a veteran of the forum wars for many a moon now. And to some extent, you just have to understand that people are going to vent and have thick skin and be able to take it. And we do appreciate what you folks have been saying. So, alright. As Jill5 says, so wow guys, that Ash thread on the forums. Alright, yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. So, when Update 21 Patch 2 was released on October 10th, the cost for incomparable items from the High Enchanter Barter Vendor was set way too low when compared to the rest of the gear on offer. It was set as low as like 110 to 140 Ash instead of its intended like 400 to 500. So there was a little bit of a land rush on particularly the European worlds, but as word spread that, this a clear mistake was happening, so get your stuff now, we ended up seeing it happen throughout the rest of the worlds. Not everybody, of course, recognized that it was too low. Some people just showed up at the vendor and were like, oh, I can buy that. So they bought that. And because it was low enough to be within a lot of people's range, some people chose to disenchant all their gear to get the new gear, even though, they had like high-end gear, end-game gear for whatever they define it, and they disenchanted that stuff to get the new stuff. So, we went and recognized that we had to do something, because it was frankly way too low, and it would mean that people would not need to run the instances. And frankly, everyone would be getting this stuff, and it would kind of mess with our short-term plans here. So we shut off the barter vendor. And as we were shutting it off, we saw a lot of people being like, no! And that sucks. But we kind of had to do it. So clearly, I guess where the controversy as it arises is what we announced afterwards, and now what we're doing to correct this. So we are working on a hotfix to correct this issue. The main question we've been getting is when and what. I'll get into the what in just a second, but the when is still up in the air. We took a build last night, overnight, that is intended to be our hotfix candidate. And QA is going to be checking that out today, which is Thursday. If that checks out, and if we can decide to make that happen, we might go on Friday, but it's most likely going to be Monday. And the reason for that is we've learned as an MMO studio from history that doing an update on a Friday is a really bad idea. And not only are there commercial considerations, because most people play on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or what have you, but also if something goes wrong, if there's a further thing we need to address, then what do we do for that upcoming weekend? So we've kind of learned from experience that we really should not go live with a hotfix, even if it's important, on a Friday. Plus, it'll give us more time to check things out. So we might go Friday, but most likely we're going to be going Monday with the hotfix. And I can talk a little bit about what all is going to be in that in just a second here. I actually forgot to call that up. But for the Ash issue, the incomparable item from the High Enchanter Barter Vendor in particular, we're going to basically do two things. Well, a couple of things. First off, following the hotfix, incomparable gear will have its correct vendor cost. 2, for people who have already purchased incomparable gear, you're going to have a couple of choices of what you want to do. If you already have level 330 incomparable gear, you can disenchant that and get your full Ash of Gorgoroth cost back. Just kind of 1-to-1 ratio of what you spent to what you get. Plus, we're going to be giving you a number of Empowered Shadow Essence boxes. Those are the tier 10 ones, equal to the number of Essence slots on the gear. I had a question yesterday of what if I haven't slotted that stuff? Do I still get an Essence box? And the answer is yes. It's not based on the number of things you've slotted, but the number of slots on the gear. The other thing you can do, already purchased item level 330 incomparable gear will have its stats adjusted to be equivalent to the level 330 rare gear available through the High Enchanter. So basically the idea is we're going to make it equivalent to what was the highest end gear until we brought out this level 330 incomparable stuff. And the essence slots are going to remain on it even if they normally would not for that level of gear. So this lets people utilize it. And one of the reasons we're doing that is we heard pretty loudly and clearly from people that if we had, say, completely nuked that gear, brought it down to item level 1 or something like that, then people who disenchanted all their gear would kind of be left naked, as it were, and would clearly have a difficult time getting the new gear. So that's why we're doing it the way we are. We're letting people do that. So I guess the big question we've been getting, probably one of the bigger outstanding questions, is why don't we just let people keep that stuff on the super cheap level? Or why don't we just make it so that it will always be super cheap? For the former, ultimately the decision was made that it would not be fair to those who were not able to take advantage of the extra low price during the window that it was available. And I know that's a kind of a controversial decision. Not everyone's going to agree on that. But that was the decision, and why we went the route we did, is so that people would be able to be on a relatively even playing field in terms of attaining this level 330 incomparable gear. In terms of why we don't just permanently make it super cheap, the reason for that is because it's not intended to be that cheap. It doesn't really make sense that the lower quality gear would cost, let's say, 110 ash, and the next tier down would cost hundreds more. Additionally, we want people running the instances to get this gear. And if we come up with and that's part of sort of the gameplay that at least we're kind of hoping people want to engage in for the next couple of months. And so if everyone gets all the stuff day one, then it doesn't really meet what we're looking for the game. It's controversial, though, like I say, I know, because some people feel that the cost for all this incomparable gear might be higher than they want. And that's, a perfectly valid opinion. But that's why we're doing it the way we're doing it. Alright, so clearly we got a big forum thread and all that sort of thing about it. A lot of feedback on it. And I appreciate everyone's opinion on that sort of thing. Clearly we do also need to, and have been, looking at how this actually came about and just kind of lock down our processes to make sure this sort of thing doesn't happen again. So. All right. Flow, I appreciate your frustration on the issue. I have clearly been reading the forums. I have read every single post about this issue, I assure you. And we spent a lot of time yesterday, trying to make sure we did the right thing here. And hopefully we've achieved that. I recognize some people feel we have not. And to those folks who were sorry about that, I didn't think you could get Ash from running the instances. You can't, really, but remember that this gear, the idea of getting this gear from the Ash vendor, it was meant to be sort of a safety net. In case you were trying to run it, get it from the instances and didn't get enough. It was not meant to be the primary source for this gear. Now, because of the super duper low cost when it debuted, we kind of set that expectation, but that's not the intention. The intention is to get the gear from running the instances. And ultimately, this is an alternate path if you want to go that route. Good luck with it not happening again. Yeah. I know, the whole question about an apology. I mean, we're sorry that we've caused this frustration. We're sorry that we launched it at too low a price. We never like to see our players upset. I don't think we've ever played it off as being the player's fault. I mean, I appreciate if you feel differently, Gel 5, but I mean, I think we've been pretty clear up front that this is on us. We're the ones who messed up the pricing on this thing. Even if we did end up having, based on what we have from World Chat and that, a bunch of people saying things like, quick, everyone decon their gear so that they can get this stuff before SSG pulls the plug on it. That clearly isn't the experience of everybody who did that sort of thing. How are players supposed to get Ash? Simply from basically disenchanting gear that they no longer want. On Gorgoroth items from there. Or level, what, 106 and up, I think? Oh yeah, good point. Dan Teal also mentions Ash is going to be bound to account with our most recent hotfix. We're actually planning to make the Ash of Gorgoroth bound to account. That should hopefully reduce the grind for some folks as well. But that's not directly related to this particular vendor issue. This was actually something we've been wanting to do, and it just happened to coincide with that happening. Do we have a hotfix date? Probably Monday. Stay tuned for more of a downtime announcement, but probably Monday. I appreciate what you're saying, L's Arkenstone. You can't finish dungeons T2C with one tank on last boss. You can only beat that 2 or 3 tanks. Damage of the boss is crazy. You can't avoid it. Either nerf the damage or add more mechanics because this seems broken. That's regarding presumably the new instance boss that was described earlier. Yeah, I think we're definitely gonna have to take a look at that. Clearly we've been busy on this other thing, but for sure that sounds like something we're gonna have to work on. There's a well, I just described this earlier, twisting of strings. Is there a chance the hotfix could be pushed out before Monday? Theoretically, we might be able to push it out on Friday. We're actually going to have that discussion today, but one, I don't know that we will be able to. And two, even if we could, I don't know if it's a good idea. Typically, you don't want to release a game update on a Friday in case something happens. You could be in a position where you have to hotfix over the weekend. Or, it's just bad. It's just bad. Not a good idea to update the game on a Friday unless you can help it. But maybe we'll do it because of the particular sensitivity over this issue. Any idea when the raid is coming? Soon. After we get this out the door, my understanding is we're getting fairly close to previewing the raid on Bull Roar. And then it'll be out before the end of the year. Well... Yeah, it might be early next year, actually. End of the year, early next year. Stay tuned. I seem to have destroyed, sold, otherwise lost my Flame of Ancalmir, and when I try to interact with a high enchanter it says you can't do that. Did you only have one chance to buy it? No, you can get another one from the Flame of the Enchanter. If that doesn't work, get in touch with support. They should be able to help you out. Okay. What am I doing here? I am actually trying to call up my hotfix. Here we go. So here is what I have. This is internal. Let me actually give you guys a slightly better scene to look at. Gonna dance. Gonna dance if we want to. Alright, here is our proposed, some of the changes that'll be in the hotfix. Quest log filtering with no quest selected, and a few other filters fixes to make filters available to creep side, and to make skinning work. Yeah, we actually chased that one down yesterday where the creeps were not able to filter. They could theoretically filter by going to a non-creep, and then it would apply to the creep because it's account-wide, but that's not a great solution. So creeps will be able to use the quest filters with this hotfix. We're going to try to make it so you can filter out hobnanigans, but I don't know that that's going to be done in time. We're going to fix an issue where death from above, where the quest can't be advanced if you're too far over level. We're going to make it so Gondorian crafting facilities can be used by new crafters. We're going to fix the descriptive text in Tome of the Gourd Lurker. That's one of the new cosmetic pets from the Harvest Math Festival. Yeah, Asha Gorgoroth account bound. Travel routes to Moria, rides to the first hall won't drop you off too early. We're going to fix some of the armor values for the Mordor instance cluster. And fix an issue where the quest A Spirited Harvest is removed upon logout or crash. So those are pretty much the hotfix things at this point. And we're going to have to see... there might be a few other things that sneak in. The new PvMP gear is underwhelming. How do you plan to balance the PvMP experience in later updates when Freeps won't use it? Well... I would argue that the new Audacity gear is not terrible, and right now Freeps are certainly in a really good state. Our intention is to hopefully work on creep versus freep balance, perhaps for 21.3, maybe 22. Hopefully get it done sooner rather than later, and also deal with bestial claws with wargs. Other than that, though, I don't think we really have much in the way of plans for PvMP through at least the end of 2018. What happens with the item level 330 and comparable gear from loot boxes? Good question. Nothing. If you received one of these items from a loot box or from one of the instances themselves, they are not being adjusted. This only applies to the ones from the High Enchanter vendor. Even though they're all the same item, we have it tagged behind the scenes that this is a vendor version of it. Bestial Claws isn't the problem, eye gouge is? I had thought it was Bestial Claws. If I'm wrong about that, I apologize. No, I don't think that's accurate to say we will not fix PvMP until the end of 2018. Our intention is to fix it as soon as we can. I'm just saying don't expect a lot of PvMP development work in 2018 once we've dealt with these significant balance issues. Alright, that sounds good. So I don't actually even know where I am. I've been all over the place on this map recently. And so I need to actually figure out what the heck I'm up to. Where am I? I'm in the Troll Shaws. Okay, okay. Yeah, that's right. I need to get to that vendor. A couple of vendors here. Looks like Rolling Stones is about the only real thing I had left to do in this area. Defeat stone trolls. Okay. Well, let me go to the vendor then and take care of that. Was it our intention to make scaled level 105 Freeps far out DPS level 115 Freeps? No. I sent that on to one of our systems engineers yesterday. He was already aware of it. But yes, we plan to fix that. That is not working as intended. Clearly, you should not be significantly better off being scaled up than you are earning it the hard way. Oh yeah. Let me fix the screen here. Sorry, let me switch screens if it'll let me check in. Come on, dude. What's taking you so long? Get a split. Oops. Let me not die. For some reason my XSplit is being super duper slow right now. It's not changing scenes like it's supposed to. Oops. Okay, what the hell? Sorry. There we are. Yeah, for some reason my XSplit's being a jerk. Not sure what's up with that. I don't think it would be accurate to say that set bonuses are a thing of the past. I'm sure we'll see them again at some point. I do think we went a little nuts with the power level of some of these set bonuses, and it kind of proved to be a longer-term design problem. But,
Megovanen. Greetings to you.
We're definitely not done.
Swilad Melon. Megovanen, might you spare a moment of your time?
I don't know that we have plans to do new instances next year, although it's possible. I think some of that's going to depend on how these are received. If I donate $30 to Extra Life with the 3 codes for Ghost Bears, can I send it to 3 different people? Yes. That is specifically why I made them codes rather than, say, like, in-game, whatever you want to call them. So that you could give them to friends, family, loved ones, enemies. What have you. Are the codes account-wide? Yeah, the codes are... yeah. It'll be whatever the Ghost Bear always is. I didn't change it. I can't remember if that's per character or per account. I think it's per account, right? I guess I should check into that before tomorrow. I know. It's so terrible, all this horrific animal slaughter. I need to start killing some orcs and stuff. Twinstrel does not represent the views of the person behind the keyboard. It's not animal slaughter, it's pest control. Nice. Did I get any word on elf heralds for high elf captains? I have not. I forgot I asked about that last week, and everyone was just kind of too busy to really get to it. And then I didn't follow up on it when we were a little less busy, so I'll have to do that. Peeps want more skirmishes? Cool. Perhaps. Someone's basically saying, can I talk about the initial statement? You know, initially we had intended to perhaps make the gear lower, but people pretty clearly explained to us that that would put them in a terrible state because they had gotten rid of all their stuff to get the new instance gear through the Ash of Gorgoroth vendor. So we quickly decided not to go that route. In terms of, can I speak to some of the more unhappy things people are saying? I don't know, man. I mean, I appreciate everyone's feedback on it, but I'm not here to argue with folks or what have you. I understand some folks are frustrated. I guess, you know, in terms of the comment, the team isn't good enough at their own game or what have you. I think any game developer will tell you that that is a non-winning argument or battle. Where is that dude? He is down here? Are the Dwarf and Hobbit model updates still in the works? Yes. I don't have any ETA to pass along, though, unfortunately. Nothing. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. Alright, so why do I feel... Where is this guy? I just was here not that long ago, so I should be able to see him, right? Oh, here he is. No? Oh, it's this poor deers. I'm definitely curious to get one of the new bog lurkers from the Harvest Math Festival. By all, nothing happening here. Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, if you just joined me now, you missed all the talk. I appreciate that, but man, I spent like the first, what, 20 minutes of the show talking about this thing, didn't I? Yeah. So the other reason I was actually a little late today is we have got a voice actor in the studio today. She is visiting New England from England. And we're going to be going out to lunch in just a little bit. So I'm actually going to, I think, call the show just a little bit early. If I can not die from pen creeper binders. Since I basically talked about all the things that people want me to talk about, I think, that I can really answer. Oh no! I'm dying. Alright, I'm just gonna retreat. There we go. Voice actor from England. It's actually for the other game, not for LOTRO. So that's why I haven't really brought it up too much here. But, because we got Ravenloft that we're doing voice recording sessions for real soon. I don't yet have an announcement as to when the High Elf will be released in the LOTRO store, nor do I have an announcement about when Mordor will be. At the very least, it'll be what we say in the FAQ, and it might be even a little bit earlier than that. What will happen with the essences that are already slotted in the new gear? So if you keep those essences, if you keep the gear, then it'll just be retained. If you disenchant it, you'll want to use an essence reclamation scroll to get it out first. If you want to preserve that particular essence. But remember, you will get the Shadowed Essence boxes, the tier 10 ones, based on the slots in that armor. So depending on what exactly you have slotted in, you may just be fine with it going to get another one. Or you may want to unslot it based on what you're doing. I don't know specifically, Twisting of Strings, how much light the gear will have after the downgrade. I just haven't had time to really get into the stats. It should be the equivalent of that tiered gear. Alright. I already talked about the PvMP balance question. Not going to repeat that again. Feel free to watch the share again if you would like to. Let me just real quick put this back out there again to remind everyone, 6 p.m. I know it says 9 p.m., but we're actually starting at 6 p.m. tomorrow on twitch.tv/LOTROstream all the way through on Saturday. We're doing an Extra Life marathon. Various members of the LOTROstream team will be streaming right here in 3 to 4 hour shifts, raising money for Extra Life, and you can donate at extra-life.org/team/LOTROstream. Also check the LOTRO forums, and we have some incentives for donations as well. Alright, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate it. I will talk to you again tomorrow. I will be on personally at midnight Eastern as Friday goes into Saturday. And I'll be doing a midnight to 3 a.m. shift right here on LOTROstream. So until then, have fun. Thank you for being a part of Extra Life. Thank you for being a part of LOTROstream. And thank you for playing Lord of the Rings Online. I'll talk to you again soon.